students. So today I am going to discuss lesson exemplar for TLA. So this presentation is about the different tools, instruments, and equipment used in industrial arts. In this lesson, you will learn how to identify these tools and understand their uses and importance in different tasks. So the first topic is hand tools. Hand tools are simple tools that you can use your hands, usually not powered. Hand tools are simple tools that operated manually using our hands. They do not require to use electricity or power sources and are commonly used in construction, repair, and workshop activities. So in hand tools, there are 9 classifications, which are holding tools, driving tools, measuring tools, guiding tools, tooth cutting tools, marking tools, edge cutting tools, boring tools, and the last is gripping and squeezing tools. First is holding tools. Holding tools are used to secure or hold materials firmly while working on them. So the first example for this is bench vise. Bench vise is a tool attached to a workbench used to hold objects firmly in place while working on them. So bench vise is hold object on a workbench. The second is pipe vise. Pipe vise is a tool designed to secure pipes tightly while cutting, threading, or repairing them. Pipe vise is specially designed to hold pipes during cutting or repair. The third example is wood lathe machine. A wood lathe machine is a machine used to spin wood so it can be shaped, cut, or curved into different size or different design. The fourth one is clamps. Clamps are tools used to hold or secure objects tightly together during work, such as gluing and assembling. The second classification of hand tools is driving tools. Driving tools are used to insert or remove fasteners like nails and screws. So there are 3 examples, which is hammer, rubber bullets, and screwdrivers. So the first is hammer. Hammer is a hand tool that used to drive nails into materials or break objects. Second is rubber mallets. Rubber mallets is a hammer with a rubber head used to strike objects without damaging their surface. Third is screwdrivers. Screwdrivers is a tool used to tighten or loosen screws. The third classification of hand tools is measuring tools. Measuring tools are used to determine the size, length, or distance of object. So there are 6 examples here. The first is a push-pull tape is a flexible measuring tool used to measure the length or the distance of objects or spaces. In short, push-pull tape measuring long distance. Second is caliper. A caliper is a measuring tool used to measure the thickness, diameter, or depth of an object accurately. In short, caliper for precise measurement. The third is ruler. Ruler is a straight measuring tool used to measure short lengths and draw straight lines. In short, ruler for measurement short length. The fourth one is measuring wheel. Measuring wheel is a tool with a wheel used to measure a long distance by rolling it along the ground. Fifth is meter stick. A meter stick is a 1 meter long measuring tool used to measure length or distance. The last one is wire gauge. A wire gauge is a tool used to measure the thickness or size of a wire. So the fourth classification of hand tools is guiding tools. Guiding tools is to help to ensure the structures or materials are aligned properly. So there are 2 examples here, which is plumb bump and level hose. Plumb bump is a tool used to check if something is perfectly vertical or straight up and down. So plumb bump checks vertical alignment. And the level hose is a tool filled with water used to check or transfer level points between two places. So level hose is to help determine level surface between 2 points. So the fifth classification of hand tools is tooth cutting tools. So tooth cutting tools are used for cutting materials like wood, metals, and plastic. So there are three examples here, which are hand saw, hacksaw, and coping saw. Hand saw is a manual cutting tool used to cut wood and other materials by hand. Hacksaw is a saw with a fine tooth blade used to cut metal, plastics, and pipes. The last is coping saw. A coping saw is a small saw with a thin blade used to cut cords or detailed shapes in wood. For the sixth classification of hand tools is marking tools. Marking tools are used to draw lines or mark before cutting or assembling materials. So there are four examples here, which are pencils, chalk line reel, divider, and scratch awl. The first is pencil. Pencil is a materials that marking tools use to draw lines or mark measurements on materials. Second is chalk lines. Chalk lines reel are used to mark long straight line on surface using chalk powder or a string. The third example for marking tools is divider. Divider is a tool to mark or measure distance by transferring measurement from one place to another. The last example is scratch awl. Scratch awl. A scratch awl is a pointed tool used to make small marks or line on wood or metal surfaces. The seventh classification of hand tools is edge cutting tools. Edge cutting tools are used to cut shape and smooth surfaces. There are three examples of edge cutting tools, which are chisel, plane, and spokes hub. Chisel is an edge cutting tool used to cut shape and carve wood or other materials. Next is plane. A plane is a tool to smooth, flatten, or shape the surface of wood. Next is spokes hub. A spokes hub is a small cutting tool used to shape and smooth curve wooden surfaces. The eighth classification of hand tools is boring tools. Boring tools are used to create whole materials. There are three examples of boring tools, which are gimlet, broadwell, and hand drill. Gimlet is a small hand tool used to drill small hole in wood. A broadwell is a pointed tool used to make smaller starter holes in wood for screws or nails. And the last is hand drill. Hand drill is a manual tool used to bore or drill holes in wood or other materials. And the ninth classification of hand tools is gripping and squeezing tools. Gripping and squeezing tools are used to hold, twist, or tighten objects. There are three examples, which are pliers, vice grips, and wrenches. Pliers are hand tools used to grip, bend, or cut wires or small objects. Next is vice grip. Vice grip is locking type of pliers used to hold object tightly and securely. And the last is wrenches. Wrenches are tools used to tighten or loosen nuts and bolts. The examples are useful for gripping wires and tighten bolts. Next is different types of hand tools. The first type is hammer. Hammer are versatile tools with a metal head for striking force and a handle for gripping and control. They are essential for driving nails, shaping metals, and breaking objects. The next is screwdrivers. Screwdrivers are hand tools with a handle at the shaft ending in a tip, designed to fit into the head of a screw to turn it. They come in various types and sizes, each suited for specific screw head types of application. Next is wrenches. Wrenches it comes in different types, including open end, box end, and adjustable wrenches, each tailored for specific tools and fastener types. Next is calipers, adjustable jaws for measuring internal and external dimension. Precision screwdrivers, small scale screwdrivers often with a revolving top for ease. Next is riveters, a hand tool used to apply rivets. Next is handsaw, hand tool device to drive metal staples into materials. Next is pliers. Pliers are hand tools with two levers joined at fulcrum, featuring jaws or pincers at one end, handles at the others. Next is digital tape measure. Digital display of fan with memory function. Laser line. Project a laser line to establish straight and level lines. And the last is digital multimeters. Digital displays measure voltage, current, resistance, and etc. So let's proceed to the next topic, which is power tools. Power tools are devices activated by an additional power source such as electricity, current, or battery, compressed air or gasoline rather than solely manual labor. Common pneumatic tools. The example are air impact wrench, powerful tools commonly used for loosening or tightening bolts and nuts with high torque. Next is pneumatic drill, a handheld air-powered tools that drills holes or destroy hard surfaces such as rock, concrete, and roads. Next is air hammer. It uses compressed to drive a hammering piston that delivers repeated impacts to the attached chisel or tool bit. Next is tire inflator. Is a compact, portable electric device powered by a 12V or 12 voltage car socket. Battery or mains designed to pump air into vehicle tires to correct pressure level. Last is paint sprayer. Spray painting is another essential application of compressed air. One of the simplest paint sprayer is an airbrush. And let's move on to hydraulic tools. Hydraulic tools use pressurized fluid to produce strong force, making heavy tasks easier to perform. There are three common hydraulic tools. The first is hydraulic nut cutters, hydraulic press, and hydraulic crimpers. Hydraulic nut cutters is a tool that uses hydraulic pressure to cut through corded or seized nuts, bolts, and fasteners. Next is hydraulic press. It is a mechanical press that utilizes hydraulic cylinders to generate compression force. Last is hydraulic crimpers. Hydraulic crimpers are tools used to connect the ends of two cables, wires, or similar flexible materials, such as hydraulic hoses, to match hose ends. Analog instrument. Analog instruments. An analog instrument shows the measurement result either in a wave or by the deflection of a pointer on an analog scale. In short, shows measurement using a pointer or dial scales rather than digital numbers. Examples of analog instrument. Analog multimeter, a device that measures electrical quantities such as voltage, current, and resistance. Next is analog thermometer, a device that measures temperature using a liquid-filled tube or coil that expands or contracts in response to temperature changes. Next is analog pressure gauge, a device used to measure the pressure of gases or liquid using a mechanical mechanism to display the pressure reading on a dial physically. Next is analog oscilloscope, a device used to measure and display voltage signal over time using a cathode ray tube to represent the signal visually. And lastly is analog caliper, a device used to measure the distance between 2 points using a slider with a scale pointer to indicate the measurement. Next is digital instruments. A digital instrument is a measuring instrument that represents the output in the form of digits on a screen, LCD or LED. There are 4 examples of digital instrument. The first is digital calipers, a tool used to measure the length, thickness, or diameter of object with high accuracy using a digital display. Next is digital multimeter, a device used to measure voltage, current, and resistance in electrical circuit. Next example is digital measurement tools, a measuring tools that uses digital technology to measure distance and shows the result on a screen. The last example is digital weighting scales, a device used to measure the weight of object or people and they display it digitally. The next is computer-based instrument. Computer-based instrument are devices used for measuring, monitoring, controlling, and analyzing various processes within the industrial arts field. 8 examples of computer-based instrument. The first example is car scanner. It is a device that plugs into a vehicle port to diagnose engine, transmission, ABS, and airbag issues by reading trouble codes. And the next example is oscilloscope. An oscilloscope is a device that measures and displays voltage signal as a waveform. The next example is spectrum analyzer. Spectrum analyzer is a device used to measure the frequency spectrum of a signal. Next is logic analyzer. Logic analyzer is a device used to capture and analyze digital signal in a system. Next is data acquisition system, are tools that convert analog signal from sensors, temperature, pressure, voltage into digital data for computer analysis and processing. Next is power quality analyzer. A power quality analyzer is a device used to measure and analyze electrical power quality in a system. Next is temperature calibrator. A temperature calibrator is a device that calibrates and tests temperatures, sensors, and instruments. And the last examples is pressure gauge calibration system. A pressure gauge calibration system is a computer-based instrument to calibrate and test pressure, gauges, and sensors. So next is equipment and accessories tools. Equipment and accessories tools are tools or items used to support or assist the main tools in doing a job properly. So there are 4 examples of equipment and accessories tools. The first is construction services. Equipment and accessories could include concrete mixers, dump trucks, and loaders, cranes, scaffolding, and safety gears. The second example is electromechanical services. Equipment and accessories could include electronic components such as circuit boards, machinery parts such as gears and motors, and tools such as soldering irons. The third example is electrical services. Equip- Equipment and accessories could include wirings, switches, outlets, and tools such as wire cutters. And that's all for my discussion. Thank you for watching.